want to know about strength, you just gotta get to it. We fighting fools are all getting to it on the streets. Street Fighter 6.
Yo, what's up guys? It is Natural here, and today I'm back with another video, and today I just wanted to talk about some ways that can help you improve in Street Fighter 6. I know a lot of people have been struggling in this game. I have personally, especially with characters like Kimberly. Well, not Kimberly, she's hard, but you can work with it. But Jury, even Ken, I think is really strong in this game. And I haven't fought a Gal, but I know he is. And DJ is a mix-up monster. So I wanted to let you know some ways that can, help you improve in the game and maybe even beat these Titans. Not directly we're targeting them, but this is just gonna help you know some stuff like punishes and whatnot. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is characters, and I think honestly, I know a lot of people say you should use multiple characters. I think you should test out some characters, see if you like them, obviously, but I think you should stick to one to two, because choosing multiple characters can be a little taxing on you, because you have to remember all this tech and stuff, and we're playing it really early right now, and obviously no one has time for all that if you want to win in a match. So I will focus on mainly one character or two. So just pick out the two that you like and train with them the most. Now you can try out other characters in training mode and then see what they can do, so you can know what to counter counter with that character or whatever, which is very good. But it's gonna be, I feel as if for some people at least, not everybody, like I said, it could be too much for you. So just stick with one or two and then just move on. And then if you're playing the character and it's like breathing to you, then you can expand your horizon. But I would say focus on someone to the max, so you know what you're doing with them for real. And like, instead of like using all these characters, I'm gonna go back to this guy, I'm like, oh, I forgot the combo or something, So I would stick with one or two. Alright, now the second thing I want to talk about is anti-airing in this game, because a lot of people jump in this game. I jump a lot and I get away with it. Other people jump a lot and they get away with it. How do we stop it? Well, obviously anti-airs like this, which is, Jamie's move, arrow kick, right? So, say for instance, Ken jumps over like, whoa, just a neutral randomly, like he's shimming, whoa, and then he jumps. What do? You gotta anti-air. But I know it's a little hard because a lot of times, you're backing up, so you could get a misinput or something. Like, say for instance, if I was in level 2 or whatever, but whatever character you are using, obviously, you won't go for uppercut, you get a different button, you're like, oh, you get punished, right? So you gotta watch out for stuff like that. So another thing you could do for that instead as well is try to figure out what other anti-airs you have. Now, for instance, for Jamie, he has this, which I think is called Tensei Kick, which is really good anti-air, and when you do it, you can potentially, if you time it right, you can get a drink by doing crouching heavy kick into heavy punch. So 2 heavy kicks into punch, which is very beneficial because Jamie's not a playable character until 2 drinks, in my personal opinion. Now, I don't know every anti for every character, but I think particularly for Jamie, at least for right now, I haven't really checked in too much. I'm using a whole bunch of characters, which is not a good idea. Like I said, don't do that. I think everybody mainly has at least 3, unless they have a move like him, this is just both kicks down. Because I know Minoan has like back heavy kick or back medium kick that's anti-airs too, and obviously Ken has uppercut and crouching heavy punch or whatnot. So you just want to look for other moves where you can use the anti-air, because for instance for Jamie, like I said, he can get a combo into it, and then boom, bang, and then another drink. So figure out what works for you for anti-airs, or you could just do that and then grab him or something, because grabbing is atrocious in this game. Like it's real stupid, honestly. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even gonna talk about that. So yeah. Now, another thing you want to focus on is punishes. So how to punish a person if they do something crazy. Like say for instance Ken here right now, he's a little OD, the person you're fighting right now, and he's over here doing mad uppercuts. He's going crazy. Oh, boom, right? And I'm like, I do that basic one, or if you're a regular beginner player, you probably don't know what to do. So you're probably like, that's it, right? You gotta look for other stuff. So I recommend either, if you don't know any combos, try to tinker around a little bit, and also look at pro player footage too, or you can look at obviously at a combo video or something, but figuring it out yourself is also beneficial, because then you can figure out stuff like that, into that, or I messed it up, ignore that, what I was doing, that, into that, and then bam, which is a good punish for Jamie because he gets 2 drinks in, which is very, very good for him because then he becomes a real boy, a real playable character, right? Or, you know, for instance, let me switch to another character which will do massive damage, and I'm pretty sure you know who it is. Marissa. Now, the thing is that I've learned what Marissa is, she does massive damage, right? So she doesn't need any stacks or anything like that. So if she gets a punish counter on Ken, she could do something like this. Into this bad boy. It's a pretty hard combo, but when you get it, the payoff, as you can see, is ridiculous. And then she also can do this other one, which does like this, even more damage. This is about 70. Now this is just a crazy example because, you know, high damage character or whatever, but you want to explore as best you can for your character what they can do, because even with this combo, there's other versions too, obviously. Say for instance you didn't have 3 bars or whatever, and you know you had less or something. Don't forget that you can always I'm not gonna do a combo exactly, but you can cancel EX moves into your second super. So another thing to figure out and think about as well what you're comboing, because you're gonna be using your gauge a lot. I feel as if a lot of people will, at least. So try to remember that, I guess you could say. So look for some cool stuff you can, because there's a lot of cool stuff with the drive system. So try to get creative here, because a lot of people can do some certain anti-air combos that we didn't know about or has not been discovered yet. So just be wild, be free. So look for punishes for your characters when it comes to punish counters when they do something stupid, you know. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is frame data for this game, and you know, the importance of it. Now, they broke it down pretty much a little bit really well, I think, honestly. And if you're still having trouble, they have this that lets you know like what is safe, what is not safe, and whatever. They tell you if you want it. You don't have to, but I use it because it benefits me. Because sometimes even the frame rate doesn't tell you certain things that you didn't know about. So yeah, and there's still hidden stuff in the game that we don't know about, obviously, as well. But really important to know. Like for instance, if you do something like this, which is -4, I'm -4 on that. And this is the startup on this is a 6, so it's okay, you know, it's not bad, but it's pretty good. If Ken were to do crouching light punch on me, and his light punch is 4, right? So this is exactly the same. See, that's a punish. Actually, it's not if I do light jab, crouching. So you gotta know what your character can do and the range of it, you know, so you can bully people. Like for instance, if I were to do, let's say, this move, right? Which is her crouching heavy jab. It is naturally, it was -2, I forgot about that. I forgot about it. -2, so it's pretty safe. So what I would do for not Kimberly, I keep saying the wrong way. Lily, is you would, I would do this into that, which will be completely safe because they're pushed back. Now, the thing that confused me when I was playing the same is the frame data, because I'm like, it says I'm like -4, but I'm safe. I was like, or -5, I'm like safe. I'm like, what's the dealio? I'm like, oh, it's the distance. So that's another thing I want to watch out for. The distance can change your frame data entirely. So you can ignore what it's saying, because depending how far away from your opponent you are, you know? You're like, oh, well, this guy can't even touch me because I'm super far away. That can also help you out to learn the distance of your opponent and what is safe or what's not safe. So look out for that. But anyways, the thing I would do, like I said, would be this into that, and they can't do anything about it. The only thing they could do is do an uppercut or something if they had it. Now, if they did that, normally I would do this and then get a big old punish or something, right? And the punish for B for that would be like something like this. And if, you know, I had more stock or something, I could have did something creative, but pretty good damage, right? So try to look out for your frame data, because there's certain things that certain characters can do, like frame traps or whatever. Like for instance, for Kimberly, she has this frame trap, right? If she does Condor Spire, and if they press a button, I just grab him, because Condor Spire, I believe, is +2. Yeah, it's +2. So if, for instance, if you were to grab them, right, max distance, whatever, they're still gonna be woke on the ground. So that gives you enough time to do Counter Spire EX. And when you do that, they can't do anything except for either I whiffed that time, but ignore that. Doesn't really happen. They have either two choices here. They can either uppercut if they have one, or jump, or use an invincible move like on Wake Up, which a lot of people don't have. Like even Lily actually does not have an invincible uppercut if she EXs, which is something I think is crazy. But so it gives them an ultimatum to do something. Otherwise, I get grabbed, which does ridiculous amount of damage, as you can see. And then I could just, if I had enough meter, I could do it again. So you know, you gotta figure out some stuff, because the only option he has to do, since he can't jab, is to uppercut. And then even still, I can bait him and get, you know, mess him up, because that's like technically a 50-50. So yeah, which a 50-50 is, if some people don't know, it's like an option of doing something else. Like, oh, am I gonna do this or am I gonna do that? Am I gonna block? Or am I gonna jump? Am I gonna grab you? You know, that's what that is, essentially. So, something to look out for. Knowing your character's frame data, what you can do with that, and the time you have, and abuse the system with it. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about is not wasting your drive gauge. Because I know a lot of people struggle with one simple thing that they keep doing. I see this a lot of the time, which even if you get the win in later rank, it's not going to benefit you. I promise you it will not. Which is people doing this. I don't know why people do that on block at all. You're putting yourself in a bad position, because even after, like, say for instance you do drive parry and like you were at 3 bars, you lose everything. Like if you parry one time, you're done. If they hit you one time, you're done. So it's like, dude, why did you put yourself in that situation? Like, look at that, you're done. Now it's their turn, because once you're in burnout, this is actually +2. Now originally it was -2, so you just gave them some advantage there. So there's other ways to figure out certain things, like I showed you before. Like there's this thing, which keeps me safe. I get my win stock, and I apply pretty much a good pressure. And also, I knock down their gauge too, which is another thing you want to look out for, is knocking down their gauge too, which is obviously very beneficial. Or obviously certain characters benefit like that, like Marissa, and you know, other better characters that can do that. But you know, try to figure out your own way how to not use your meter, because there's other creative ways. Like I get it, like if they're about to die, like say for instance they're in the health at now, and you wanted to spin some bar and then kill them. I get it, I understand, but don't do that beginning of the match. There's no point. There's no point in doing that unless you know what you're doing, or not know what you're doing, but like know, like I can't even think of a reason. Like, just don't do this, dude. Just don't do it if they're not even about to die. Like, there's no point. There's better ways to use your meter. Like, you still have the parry, you still have drive reversal, you still have drive impact. There's other things you can do. Drive reversal, EXs, because EXs are 2 bars, and then also you can just drive rush if you press, you know, obviously hold the drive button, or forward, or you can do a shortcut, which is forward. Drive impact, or not drive impact, forward parry, then forward, which is the thing you can do to get the faster version. And you'll know when you look at the frame data, because this is purple, and then there's that, and then there's this, which is a lot faster. So yeah, you just have to time that properly. You got to press forward and forward again after. So as you can see, I press forward, and then I'm buffering the other thing. I'm buffering it, I guess you could say. So that's how that works, essentially. So yeah, but like I said, you're better off doing that than just doing this into pressure. Unless, you know, you have like a mindset like you're a grappler or something, I understand. But don't just throw out your meter, okay? Alright, the next tip, which will be the last tip, is countering players. Like say for instance you're struggling with Kimberly here, right? And you're struggling specifically with her run. Like, oh, I don't know what to do. She's running. She has like 3 other stances that she can do, and I don't know how to stop her. Right? What do I do? Well, what I would do for your situation is to go to training mode and go to recording, set up the recording you struggle with. Like say for instance you struggle with her anti-air or something, even though it's not invincible, by the way, if anybody didn't know that. And set it to there, and then have other things that you also struggle with, and then randomize it, right? And then you know you have the recording, and then let it play, and then figure out what you can do. Like for instance, when she does that move, she is +1. So you have to figure out in what situation what I could do for that. And say for instance when she does, oh that counted that. Let me get rid of that. That was a little weird. We're gonna get rid of that one too. Say for instance she does this move, which is an overhead, and I believe that's also +1, or no, it's -3. So you got to figure out a way to stop that. And then there's the run into slide, and that's to -12. So what can I do? You got to figure out what you can do in certain situations. Like for instance, fun fact for Kimberly, if she does the slide, you can actually punish it with heavy buttons. Is what I was about to say. For some reason I had a brain fart. I don't know why. You can punish it with heavy buttons. So something I didn't know actually. I thought you can only punish it with mediums actually, but actually no, that's not the case. You can actually punish it with heavy buttons. So look out for stuff like that for certain characters. Just set up whatever you have into a certain pattern, and just keep letting it play and figure out a situation that benefits you. Like, oh, what else I can do? I can stop it with just a button or whatever, you know. Just get yourself prepared or put yourself in a comfortable situation in the training mode, and then you can test it out later for like about an hour or whatever, 30 minutes, depends how long you think you need for that, honestly, because it just honestly depends on you. But pro players do this all the time. They just in training just set it for hours and just figure out certain situations so they can have better reaction, because that's how honestly, if you want to have better reaction, that's what you do. You set up the things that you're struggling with in training mode, record it and let it play out, and then deal with it. And then you know you press L3 or whatever, and then make it random. Like just figure out what to do for all these situations. You know, that's what you do if you want to get better at reaction and punishing. But yeah, that is pretty much it, honestly, for all the tips I have. Yeah, I hope this was very beneficial to you, because I know a lot of people are struggling, because this game is fun, but there's a lot of problems. Well, not a lot. There's a few problems in the game, but overall, it's a great, you know, great dealio. You know, I like the game, really fun, but you know, everybody's struggling, so I thought this would help out a little bit. I hope it did. Yeah, sorry if I sound a little weirder. I was struggling a little bit. I'm a little tired, honestly. Been doing some stuff, like I've been training and also working and other things, but yeah, I'm gonna get some more Street Fighter 6 videos later out, because I'm gonna try to do some counter videos actually for certain characters. So hopefully that will help you out, because man, I really don't like Juria, so that's probably gonna be one of the first ones I do, or maybe Kimberly, because I actually know her a bit more. So look out for that, and you know, a bit more breakdowns and other things like character predictions and a review of the game eventually. But I hope you have a great day, night, noon, or whatever time period you guys live at, man, and I will see you guys next time.